Welcome, juniors. I'm Mr. Boswell, the 11th grade Dean of Students.
Hi, everyone. My name is Mrs. Hua. I'm one of the college counselors.
And I'm Mrs. Sant. I'm the Director of College Counseling.
The college counseling staff and I are excited to introduce you to YouScience today. You'll learn about how you think, how you process information, and where you naturally excel. Based on the science behind the YouScience profile, we believe this will help you make more informed decisions, translating into a more time-efficient, cost-effective, and enjoyable journey through your college process, as well as help you make better initial career choices. Our goal today is to help you understand what YouScience is, what it's like to take YouScience's brain games, and how the results will help you. YouScience will help you explore your strengths and identify careers that fit those strengths. It will give you language for describing your strengths and resumes, and open windows into careers that you may not have considered or even heard of. What I love about YouScience is that its career recommendations are tailored to students' strengths, not to any demographic information, so its recommendations are free of bias. Eventually, this will help you, with help from your advisor and college counselor, to refine a resume that reflects not just what you've done, but what you can do really well.
YouScience is broken up into 11 short brain game exercises. Some of the games will feel pretty easy, while others might stretch you a bit. That's okay. That's actually the point. You can't fail or pass any of the exercises. The games are intended to help you ultimately learn more about your strengths or aptitudes and where they can be utilized, whether that's today, in college, in a career, or in life. Let's be clear about what YouScience is not. It's not the SAT or ACT, which measures verbal and mathematical reasoning and is often used as an indicator of how you will do in your first year of college. This is not an intelligence test. You will not be given a score. It's not a personality test or skills test. It's not a test you can study for. It's not an assessment that compares you to others. There are no grades and no percentile ranks. This is about you. This is about the natural abilities you were born with and how your brain is innately wired.
Here's an example of an exercise for the spatial visualization aptitude. This is one of the many exercises you're about to work through. Some of these will feel more like games than exercises. Some will be fun, some will be frustrating, and some will seem totally random. Keep in mind that knowing what is hard for you is just as important as knowing what is easy. You'll wonder what they could possibly reveal about you, but believe it or not, these exercises are measuring core and important aspects of what makes you you. That's part of the science. The exercises are timed and take about 4 to 15 minutes to complete. Our intention is that you will complete these brain games over time so that you can pace yourself. We would not recommend that you complete these exercises in one setting. Make sure that you do not close your browser during an exercise, but once it's complete, it's perfectly fine to log off after an assessment. Your work will not be lost. If you already have a career in mind, you will learn about how the career fits your natural strengths. You will be able to approach the college planning experience with more confidence about the direction you are going and with more ideas for potential careers, majors, programs, and more.
Getting started is really easy. All you're going to need is your computer, as well as a piece of paper and a writing utensil. While you are doing the exercises, keep in mind that knowing what's challenging for you is just as important as knowing what's easy. It's very important that you follow YouScience's instructions for what you can and can't do while taking the brain games. Paper and pencil are only permitted during the numerical reasoning and numerical computation exercises. Do not use any other aid while you are taking the assessment. If you were to use additional aids, for example, folding a real piece of paper while you were taking the spatial visualization exercise, sure, your results would probably show you that you have a knack for this aptitude, but would you want it to do so? You'd then be recommended careers that fit with that level of spatial visualization. If those careers are not actually a good fit for you, working in them would be really stressful, and you'd probably not be very happy. So definitely try your best, but remember, this is about what you naturally do well and about how you fit with potential majors and careers. Let the natural you shine through. Your future self will thank you for it. Also, it's important to remember that your neighbors are going to be taking these brain games at the same time. It's okay if you finish a brain game or need a break, but these exercises take a lot of concentration and focus. Even a momentary distraction can pull someone out of their focus and cause them to fumble an exercise, especially given the time constraints. Be respectful of your advisory mates and let them finish without distraction. If you need assistance, you can ask your advisor, your college counselor, or me. There's also an embedded chat feature that you can use in YouScience. To get started today, check your email for the invitation and join code. Once you're logged in, click the assessment button in the top left-hand corner to get started on the brain games. During the advisory periods, we ask advisors to provide 5 to 10-minute warnings before the end of the period so that students don't start new brain games after those times. If you are interrupted in the middle of one of the exercises, feel free to contact YouScience through the chat feature. They should be able to reset it so you can start from the beginning at a later time. Remember to log off when you're finished. All of your work will be saved for you.
Once you've completed all of your exercises, you'll receive a comprehensive report that offers you feedback on your talents and strengths. You can see from the example here that Mr. Boswell, Mrs. Hua, and I all crushed it, meaning that there is no wrong answer or bad results from the brain games. As Mr. Boswell shared, YouScience is intended to help you identify your core strengths and aptitudes, how to leverage them in your college search, and how to ultimately identify specific career paths that align with those talents. YouScience even offers you language to use that can be useful when discussing these topics in college essays. What we have found is that using YouScience helps students identify the types of colleges that can set them up best for success based on their inherent strengths rather than simply choosing a college without considering fit that you happen to be familiar with because of a friend or a family member. You can be more intentional about identifying college options and choosing career paths, learning about possibilities you may have never even considered before.
We had a moment to meet with your advisors to explore the questions they had when completing their brain games. And here's where we landed. Is this mandatory? Yes, it is. Who can help me? Your first point of contact should be your advisor, but college counseling and Mr. Boswell will be great resources as well. Who sees these results? Your advisor, your college counselor, and Mr. Boswell will have access to your results. Is the assessment the same for everyone? Yes, it is. Is it difficult? Last year's advisor said it was somewhere between a BuzzFeed quiz and the SAT. Please keep in mind that it does not assess so much about the right answer, but how you answer. And lastly, when and where should I complete the assessments? Completion should be by Thanksgiving break. Again, pace yourselves. We are hopeful that we can dedicate Thursdays to serving as YouScience days in your advisory. If you do have learning differences that could prevent you from completing during advisory, you will want to consider completing at home or during your free period where you can find a quiet and less distracting place. At this point, we'd like for you to go ahead and get started in your advisory spaces. You should have received your login information at this point via email. Good luck, and we'll see you soon.